Hi everyone. So in today's video we are going to discuss the subject HCM. So we have already discussed the and meaning of pricing policy, pricing decision making process and factors influencing the pricing policy. So in today's video we are going to discuss the main topic of this chapter, that is methods of pricing or types of pricing. So let's see the first one. The first one is cost plus pricing or full cost pricing. So these are all the methods of pricing, means how the pricing is done for the each number of the product. For one product there will be different type of pricing. So first one and the common one is cost plus or full cost pricing. So the word itself, it is telling cost plus pricing. So here whatever the cost for manufacturing a particular product plus a profit margin is kept to earn profit, and together of that is called as cost plus pricing. So look at the picture. The cost of making this burger is 100 rupees and the margin is 50%. So 100 into 50, the 50%, the margin will be 50 rupees. So total 100 plus 50, 150 will be the cost of this product. So the final price for the final consumer is 150. So cost plus pricing includes all cost plus a profit margin. So whatever it will be the cost can be the direct materials, it can be the direct labor, and it also includes the indirect cost, that is fixed and administrative cost, selling and distribution expenses. So all the types of cost, that is direct material, raw material, the laborers, direct labor, fixed cost, all the machineries which is involved in making this burger, administrative cost, the office cost, and the selling and distribution expenses, all that those includes taking the product from the place of manufacturing till to the place of the market and also promoting the product. All those cost, for example of this burger, is 100 rupees. Direct material, direct labor, fixed, administrative and selling expenses is 100 rupees. On that they have kept a profit margin, that is 50%, means 150 will be the cost of this product. This is the first type of pricing, that is called as cost plus pricing or full cost pricing. They are covering the full cost as well as they are keeping some percentage of the profit also. Let's see what are the advantages of cost plus pricing, that is CPP. So first one is it is simple. It is simple to operate. It is simple to operate if cost structure of products are known. So I told you direct material, direct labor, and all the indirect cost, that is fixed, administrative, selling and distribution expenses. So if we know all the cost of a particular product, if the cost structures are known, it is very simple to operate, in the sense it is very simple to calculate the pricing under the cost plus pricing. Next advantage is reasonable rate of return. So as we have seen, the profit margin will be kept on particular product. So reasonable rate of return can be guaranteed. It can be ensured that recovery of the total cost and also reasonable rate of return to the firm. The reasonable rate of return can be obtained by the firm as well as they have covered the total cost. In covering the total cost, they have earning the reasonable rate of return also. Next is predict selling prices. So it helps the business firm to predict the selling prices of other competitive firms who have adopted the similar cost structure. So see, if the other competitor who is doing, our competitor, if he is doing same business, right, he is doing same business and he has obtained the same structure, cost structure, that is he has opted for cost plus pricing only, then we can easily predict the prices of our competitor, because he is in the same business, he is making the same products which we are making. So we will be having an experience of the all the costs, because we will also be in that field for so many years. We have a bit of experience of the prices of the direct material, charges for direct laborers, and also those fixed administrative and selling expenses. So we can easily predict the prices of the competitors who is doing the same business and who has opted the same pricing strategy. Next is stability in the pricing policy. So this is beneficial for our customers, for us. So this brings a stability in pricing policy, and the selling price can be justified to the customers. So customers can justify it, and they will be having a kind of calculation, right? This is the cost. For example, the cost is 100 rupees and the profit margin is 50%, means they have kept 50% cost margin, the total cost is 150. So there will be stability if they have kept a profit margin. So profit margin is kept for stable returns. So profit margin cannot be changed automatically, or cannot be changed continuously. If we have kept a profit margin for a term, that profit margin rate will not be changed. So there will be a stability in the prices, because the margin fixed is stable. Okay, there will be a little bit changes in the cost, because the direct material or the whatever the raw materials you are bringing, there will be changes, or there will be hike, or there will be a decrease in the prices of those goods. But profit margin, whatever the percentage you have kept to earn the profit, that cannot be changed cannot be changed without any decisions, right? So stability in the pricing policy will be there, and there will be a justification for our customers. So advantages are, this is simple, reasonable rate of return can be earned, and we can predict the selling prices of our competitors, and stable pricing policy which is beneficial, which is justified to our customers. Let's see the disadvantages. So the first disadvantage of this cost plus pricing is, it ignores demand and competition, and may result into underpricing or overpricing of the product. So underpricing or overpricing. So ignores demand and competition, as we are just calculating the cost plus we are adding the percentage of profit margin. The demand cannot be measured, they will not see the demand for their product, and also they will not consider the competition. So if we don't see the demand, if we don't see the competition, either we will hike our prices, that is overpricing will be done, or underpricing will be done. So law of demand, we all know that if there is a demand in the product, the prices will be high. If there is less demand for that product, the prices will be low. If you don't consider the demand for the product and you're overpricing your product, means who will purchase it, right? So seeing the situation in the market, the market trend, market demand, the pricing should be done. But according to this method of pricing, the demand is ignored as well as the competition is also ignored. So it doesn't differentiate between fixed and variable cost. So here total cost will be considered, that is direct material, direct labor, all the fixed cost, and the administrative and selling expenses. It don't differentiate between the fixed and the variable cost. Suppose here the total cost is constant, they don't differentiate between the variable and the fixed cost. That is the difference between that is the disadvantages of cost plus pricing here. Next type is marginal cost pricing or contribution approach. So marginal cost pricing, or it is called as contribution. So what is the formula of contribution? Selling price minus variable cost equals to contribution. So here marginal cost, in the sense, you just remember that it is all about the variable cost. It use only the variable cost for pricing, but the cost plus pricing, as we have seen, it doesn't differentiate between the total between the fixed and the variable cost. It considers the total cost is the constant. But here the second type of marginal cost, it came because to eradicate that disadvantage, that it doesn't care for the variable cost, but here in the marginal cost it cares only for the variable cost. So this is called as contribution approach, which uses only variable cost as a basis for the pricing. Here fixed costs are not added to the product. So take the same example of that burger. To make that burger, the cost of a machinery will be the fixed cost, I can say, or the rent or the value of that factory is also a fixed cost. Here the marginal cost pricing includes only the variable cost, that is the cost of the direct materials, direct labor and other things which are used in the product. However, the fixed cost should be taken into consideration in determining the profit margin. So the percentage of profit margin, calculating that percentage of profit margin, in that we will include the fixed cost, but we don't consider fixed cost in the total price of the product. So this is called as marginal cost pricing, where only the only the variable cost is considered. However, the fixed cost should be taken into consideration in determining profit margin. Let's see the advantages. So advantages of marginal cost pricing. First one is it helps a business to enter into market easily. So how it is helping the business in entering into the market easily means it helps in covering the cost of additional product. So variable cost here in the sense, whatever the additional unit you are producing. Marginal means what? Marginal means additional product. For example, your target of producing the product was 1000. You have produced the 1000 product, but there is a high demand for your product and you decided to produce 100 more products. So this 100 more products is the marginal product, that is the additional units you are producing for the market. So at marginal cost here means the marginal cost of those extra units. So here the variable cost or the marginal cost or the additional cost of these extra units can be easily recovered, and hence it helps the new business or the new products to enter into the market. Next is it increase competitive position in existing markets. So existing markets, if the products are high in demand, if they are producing extra units, then there will be the increase in competition, and the existing firms who are there will be a huge competition, because the marginal cost, if they have opted the marginal cost, the extra cost can be easily recovered. So everyone will try to improve their products, to try to increase the demand for their product by introducing the new and the satisfied products to the customers. So here at the last the competition will increase. Next, utilize the spare capacity. See, if your machine capacity is to produce at a time 1000 burgers, it can make 1000 burger, but only your demand for the product of your product in the market is 900. You will produce only 900 of the products, but still 100 capacity is idle. If there is a high demand, if you improve your product, you can easily use this spare capacity. You can even produce 100, you can produce 1000 quantity of the burgers and you can sell it into the market. You can utilize the spare capacity, the idle capacity of your machine. That is the advantages of the marginal cost pricing. The disadvantages are recovery of cost is doubted. So here in the advantages we saw that the variable cost or the additional cost of the product can easily be recovered, but as it has ignored the fixed cost, only recovering the variable cost is not enough. Recovery of the main cost is doubted. This is the disadvantage of marginal cost pricing. So in this video we have discussed the two main types of pricing, and mainly in your exams the questions will be asked from this both. So cost plus pricing and marginal cost pricing, from both of this from both of this the practical questions will be asked in each and every type of the pricing. The practical portion is there. So first we will discuss the theory, then we will go to the practical. Thank you for watching.